Everyone heard the tray crash. Everyone saw the pink slab of meat slapped onto the girl's kosher lunch. And everyone saw her freeze, shoulders stiff, lips trembling, eyes wide but dry. She didn't cry. That's the first thing people remember about Leah Cohen. Leah was 16. Her family had just moved to a small town in Indiana, far from their tight-knit Jewish community in New Jersey. Her father had lost his job during a round of mass layoffs. A smaller town meant cheaper living. A smaller school meant, they thought, she'd be safer. More noticed. Less overlooked. But, different, doesn't blend in easily. She wore long sleeves even in spring, her skirt just past the knees. She didn't go to dances. She didn't eat the cafeteria food. Every day she brought a carefully packed kosher lunch, usually leftovers from the night before, sometimes sandwiches, always blessed. To her, eating with dignity and reverence was not just about religion. It was about identity, discipline, legacy. That day, it was meatloaf, her mother's special recipe, neatly wrapped in foil. She was unwrapping it when 3 seniors swaggered up. Football jackets, smug grins, bored eyes looking for trouble. What's this, weird girl? More of your special kosher crap. Too good for bacon. Leah tried to ignore them. She wasn't confrontational. Her parents raised her on peace, respect, quiet resistance. But when one of them grabbed the pork chop from his tray and slammed it onto her food, smearing greasy meat juice across her meal, her hands clenched. She stood up slowly. Not shaking, not shouting, just, still. Eat it, one of them taunted. Don't your people eat weird stuff anyway? What's the problem? Pig too holy. Someone giggled from another table. That's when Ben Taylor, a junior who had gym class with her, leaned forward slightly, like he might intervene. But Leah held up one hand without looking at him. She didn't need saving. She needed space. And then, one punch. Nobody even saw her draw her arm back. No dramatic wind-up. Just a crack like a firecracker, and one of the boys, the biggest one, was on the ground, his jaw slack, mouth bleeding, eyes wide in shock. The others froze. So did the cafeteria. Leah looked down at him. My grandfather buried friends in Europe who were forced to eat pig as a form of torture. You thought this was a joke. It wasn't. The silence afterward was heavier than before. Not because of the violence, but because of the truth in her voice. 2 weeks earlier, Leah had struggled quietly. She was the only Jewish girl in her school. There were no menorahs in December. No kosher aisle in the grocery store. No neighbors who understood why Friday nights were sacred. She smiled politely when people asked weird questions. Do you believe in Jesus? Do you wear that bracelet for magic? Wait, Jewish-like, money Jewish. Her mother cried behind closed doors some nights. Her father took on construction shifts longer than his back could handle. At school, teachers often mispronounced her name. She didn't correct them anymore. Leah trained in Krav Maga since she was 8. Not because she wanted to fight, but because her grandfather insisted that peace without strength was a fantasy. He was a Holocaust survivor. His tattooed numbers faded with age but never with pain. He once told her, never start the fire, Leah. But if someone throws you in it, stand up and burn brighter. After the punch, everything changed. Suspension. Yes, 3 days. Standard protocol. But something bigger happened. Ben Taylor came to her house the next day with a note from his mom, an apology for staying silent in the cafeteria. You were braver than all of us, it read. Including the adults. His mom invited Leah's family for Shabbat dinner the next week, vegetarian, entirely kosher, out of respect. A girl from science class, Priya, messaged Leah privately. They made fun of my hijab once. I didn't do anything. But watching you today, I felt proud. Thank you. Other students began to sit with her at lunch. At first out of curiosity. Then out of respect. One day she opened her lunch to find several classmates had brought kosher or halal options just to show solidarity. The school held an assembly 3 weeks later. Not about violence, but about boundaries, belief, and bravery. Leah didn't speak at it. She didn't need to. Her actions had already screamed the message loud enough. Months passed. The boy with the broken jaw didn't press charges. Word was his parents were too embarrassed, especially when the community rallied behind Leah. Some claimed she went too far. But most knew the truth, that there are lines you do not cross. And faith, especially when it's tied to generations of trauma and survival, is one of them. Leah didn't become a hero by punching someone. She became one because she chose strength when silence would have been easier. Years later, she told the story on a podcast about youth, identity, and inner strength. The host asked her, "Do you regret hitting him?" She paused. "I regret that I had to. I regret that the world still makes girls like me choose between dignity and peace." Then she smiled softly. "But I don't regret showing him that I would." Final message. The world doesn't always welcome difference. But strength lies not in becoming like everyone else, but in honoring who you are, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. And sometimes, one punch can shatter more than a jaw. It can break ignorance, light a fire, and inspire a room full of people to finally see you. And remember you. Forever.